Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, welcome. In today's video, I will put together my spending plan for 2024. I will be using Google Sheets, and we'll start with a blank sheet and we'll fill it out fully in this video. Feel free to follow along. If you are new to budgeting or having a spending plan, this is a simple way to start. You will be able to follow along and put together your spending plan as well. If you don't know how much you are spending every month, it will be good to look back a few months to gauge how much you normally spend. This will help as you put your plan together. Okay, let's go into the spending plan. For this, I will open up a spreadsheet in Google Drive. The first thing I will do is change the title. As we start making it, we'll first start off with the months across the top. So January to December, because this is for 2024. So I'll say that as well at the top here. And the next thing we'll do is we will go in and put in the different categories. In the first section, I will put down all of my income. So I will put in my pay from work. I will also put in a row for extra pay and a row for the bonus. I will add a row that will add all of these up for the total. To help keep this organized, I will be breaking it up by adding a colored row in between the sections. So the first section is income. So this is anything that is coming into my account. We'll go into the other categories. So the first one I do is investments. And I have two rows here. So my automated investments and others. In the next section, I have my sinking funds. There's one for taxes and insurance, an emergency fund, and a travel sinking fund. In the next section, I have my household expenses. Here I have my mortgage, my electricity, gas, water, internet, and student loans. Of course, these categories will vary depending on your expenses, so you can adjust accordingly. And in the last section, I have my variable expenses. Here I have fun money, groceries, and self-care. And I'll add one row at the very end for the total. So these are all of the categories that I have. Of course, these will vary, so you can add the different categories depending on what your plan is for the year. But this is in general how I tend to structure my spending plan. So we'll first start off by filling out the expenses for the month of January, or at least how I plan to spend my income for the month of January. So my income for the month, I expect to be $6,500. And this is what hits my bank account. If you do have income that varies month to month, you'll need to put in an estimate of what you think you'll earn for each given month in the plan. I don't expect any extra pay this month or a bonus, so the total here will be just that number, but I will go ahead and add the formula adding up all of the three cells. So for the month of January, I expect to have $6,500 to spend. The first thing I will do is I will allocate how much I plan for my automated investments, and that's $1,500 for the month. I don't expect additional investments this month, so I'll leave that blank. For taxes and insurance, I'll set aside $500, and these sinking funds are automated. So as soon as the money hits my account, the money is then sent over into the sinking funds. So in reality, I never see the money in my checking account. For my emergency fund, I'll set aside $1,000, and for my travel sinking fund, I'll set aside $1,000, not $10,000. That would be great, but no, just $1,000. For my mortgage, it'll be $1,100. Electricity, I'll estimate about $100. My gas is around $30. My water bill is $65, internet $55, and student loans is $200. These are more or less stable throughout the year. The only one that does vary some is electricity. But over the year, it does average out to about $100. So that's what I'll start off with, and that's how I'll leave it for now. In the variable expenses category, I'll set aside $300 for fun money. This includes any activities that I do socially, any eating out will go into this, will come out of this category. Groceries, $350, and then $300 for self-care. So next what I will do is I will figure out the total, and this will allow me to calculate how much money I have left over. So I will add all of my expenses, so everything from investments all the way down to self-care, and I will subtract my income. So you can see that the way I have it broken down, every dollar is accounted for. So there's $0 remaining right now. If my variable expenses are lower for the month than this, say that instead of spending $350 on groceries, I only spend $300, those additional $50 I will put back into the others category and count it as expenses. So it would go up here and the total will now be $50. Excuse me, will be $0. But we'll set it back to what it is. Everything's accounted for now. What I'll do next is, because these will be fairly stable throughout the year, I will just go ahead and drag them across the spreadsheet until December. There will be a few things that do change, however. Let me just edit the top row so that it all looks the same. I expect to get a pay increase in March. I don't know what it will be right now, but something like 5%. So in March, my pay will go up to $6,825. That's an estimate again. I'll update it once I know what it will actually increase to. I'll leave that there for now. I'll come down to the bottom as well and drag the total. And you can see now that with the increase in salary, there's additional money that I have left to spend. We'll come back and adjust here in a minute. But before that, I want to continue to make some edits in the income. So for extra pay, because I get paid bi-weekly, there are 2 months out of the year where I get an additional paycheck, which will be half of what I normally get. So that will come in May, and I also expect that to be in November. So these 2 additional months, I will have that additional income. You can see again at the bottom, there's more money left to be accounted for. And the last cell that I will edit in income is that I expect a bonus for the year to hit my account in the month of March. Again, I don't know what this is, but I expect it to be around $10,000. If we take a look at the budget for the entire year, there's money still left to be accounted for several of the months. We'll look at March, because I will get the bonus and my increase in pay, we'll need to allocate this money in one of the categories. So the $10,000 will go directly into investments. I don't plan to do anything else with it, which is why I added this additional row in the investments section. So the $10,000 is accounted for. And the pay increase will also go into these automated investments. Because my income is going up by $350, I will add that to the $1,500. So it will be $1,825 instead of $1,500. And this will be across the board what I will do. So all of the months, the pay increase will go into automated investments. You can see now that a lot of the months have now gone down to 0. With the exception of 2, May and November, when I will earn the extra paycheck. This will all go into investments, so I will add this here. And you can see now that every dollar is accounted for. All of the months are accounted for. You can see everything that you will be investing here in the investment. You can see everything that you're going to be adding into the sinking funds. In the next section, household and variable expenses will more or less stay the same throughout the year. So I won't go in and update until I am looking at the budget for that specific month. Again, the only one that will likely change is electricity. Because I have been keeping track of my spending for a number of years now, I know exactly what these expenses will be. If you are new to this, look back at your statements from the last few months to help you fill out what this will look like. If you want to look at what your investments totals, for example, will be for the year, you can add up all of the investments in this section. For me, the total investments for the year will be a little bit over $38,000. And looking across the spreadsheet, I will add $12,000 into my emergency fund and $12,000 into my sinking fund. Now, I will be taking trips throughout the year, so this will be consumed. I don't expect to have the $12,000 at the end of the year. This is just my strategy for setting money aside for travel. So this is a look for me for 2024. This is what I expect to spend. I hope that the video has been useful and you've been able to follow along. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.